Welcome to What If, the show where I, Jake from State Farm, answer your insurance what ifs. Today's caller is Gio. What's up?
Hey, Jake, what if I'm shopping for a new policy, but there are so many options that I freeze up and just can't choose?
It's okay. An agent can help you choose the right coverage. At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs.
Oh, now what if I need help deciding on dinner?
Tacos.
Good idea.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Now, the greatest story never told with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, we're back. Aren't you excited? Welcome to number 44. The episode is on the Greatest Story Never Told podcast. Wow, we made it 44 episodes, and as you know, there might be a commercial that's played before the podcast. No guarantees. We don't know if this thing is sponsored or not.
No idea what it is. Ted, now, when we first started doing this, we had Astroglide. All right. Now, again, none of us have ever heard the ad, but people will start emailing going, hey, dude, Astroglide. And I'm like, that's great. Ted's podcast, he had Harvard Law School.
Get out of here.
How
Really?
do they make these? How do they decide who advertises where?
And who listens to Ted's podcast and goes, you know what, Harvard Law School.
Harvard Law School.
That's for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look, I support Astroglide.
I support Ted. I just don't see how that relates to either one of them. I think it should be Astroglide for everybody. I think
Astroglide for all.
Even though we can't really use it right now, it's fine.
Sure you can.
But we do ask you to, if you'd like to be an unofficial sponsor of The Greatest Story Never Told, just give a little donation to our 3 local Fisher Houses. Now, when you go to fisherhouse.org, you have the option of donating to the local chapter, and we ask you to do that and support our 3 local houses in the area. And here you go, guys. Ola, my awesome fiance, threw us a personal Red Festival over the weekend, since you guys aren't having one this year. And we donated $100 to the local Fisher Houses in honor of it. Attached is a receipt, hoping we're doing the right thing while drinking. Love you guys and look forward to hunting down the brand new Pilsner. That from Chase in Bellingham, who said, we made this specifically to the Seattle locations, just so you know, for the Fisher House, and they donated $100.
And you guys threw your own Red Festival. That is awesome.
Why didn't you invite us?
I know. I mean,
my daughter lives in Bellingham. I could have come up.
I'd have gone up for that.
Yeah,
Sure.
for social distance.
Red Festival.
Yeah, we didn't get to do that this year. What a bummer. All the gentlemen, I'd love to be considered as an unofficial sponsor to The Greatest Story Never Told and have attached my donation receipt in the email. In addition, I'd like to give you guys a quick story about when I began to lose faith in humanity.
Oh, good.
A few years ago, I was working for an entertainment facility south of Seattle where we offered laser tag. These were made to look like actual firearms and thus required a tutorial before allowing people to go out and play. During one of these talks with a group, a girl who had to be in her late teens, early 20s, looked me dead in the face and asked what she should do if she forgot how to fire the blaster. Now, they say there's no such thing as a stupid question. In that moment, I disagreed. Without missing a beat, I replied, well, then maybe a coloring book is more your speed. Her dad looked at her, at me, and then proceeded to laugh uncontrollably while she gave me a death stare. Good times. That from DJ.
There are no stupid questions. There's just stupid people that ask questions that have an obvious answer.
DJ, thank you for that. We appreciate it. Then we get an email. This comes our way from Pat. And he wants to tell us a story about his high school football camp. Back in 2010, one of the kids on our team, Jake, suffered a knee injury and tore his ACL on day 1 of camp. Camp was several hundred miles away from home. Jake toughed it out and stayed at camp for the full 5 days. Well, we took a bus to and from the camp, so during the bus ride home, I and a friend of mine, Robbie, sat near Jake toward the back of the bus. This conversation took place. Jake turns around and said to us, I hope you don't need surgery. Robbie, do you think you tore your fallopian tube? Which was a common jab for us on the team when someone complained was kind of being a little bit of a wussy. Jake says, what's that? Me seizing the opportunity we've been given, a major artery in your knee. Robbie, if you tear it and don't get surgery soon enough, you could die. Jake said, oh my God, do you think I tore it? I don't know if my parents can afford surgery. Robbie says, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't worry about the surgery. Your mom probably has insurance. It's right there with the insurances, medical, dental, fallopian. At this point, Jake becomes thoroughly convinced he may have torn his fallopian tube. We proceed to prod him more, suggesting about the pain level and its correlation with torn fallopians, bruising and its indication of a bleeding fallopian. Buzz started to grow in the seats around us that Jake was convinced he tore his fallopian tube. A teammate who was an immigrant from West Africa, Abdul, also had no idea what a fallopian tube was. We explained many of the same made-up facts to Abdul, who then was also convinced that Jake had in fact torn his fallopian tube. Probably 30, 40 minutes after convincing these two of this, and another teammate made his way toward the very front of the bus, sitting near the coaches, this teammate then yelled back, "Hey, Jake, what is it that you think you tore?" Jake, without hesitation, "My fallopian tube." Well, everyone on the bus lost it. They were laughing. The bus driver was laughing. The defensive coordinator, who was a teacher at the school and a strong advocate against bullying, laughed so hard that he buried his face in a pillow. Abdul yelled, "Why is everyone laughing? Jake could die," in his thick African accent, which just made everyone laugh more. Our head coach, through laughing tears, explained to the bus, meaning Jake and Abdul, what fallopian tubes are. Jake, or as now we call him, Fallopes, did not remain on the team after this bus ride, but the spontaneous prank was well worth it. If you're out there, Fallopes, hope you're healthy and well. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the story as much as I enjoyed telling it. That from Pat. Pat, thanks for that. Yeah. Let's see here. We got a lot of nice emails on last week's episode as far as Zach Wilde.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Zach Wilde was a great guy. He couldn't have been a nicer human being. I mean, I don't know how much we touched on that more than just the day itself and how it went down.
He was just hammered.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was a great guy, but he got absolutely smashed.
And one of our most bizarre, probably, encounters ever in radio, along with the Sunset Thomas Day, which was
Sure.
was a pretty insane day. But as far as interviews go, some interviews go better than others. I think we've touched on the fact that some guys in the industry aren't the best to interview. They're not the most fun guys.
I can deal with those guys. Some people just aren't. They're not wordy, right? We talked to Ben Shepard from Soundgarden. And he's a great guy, but he's a man of few words, and he actually takes time to consider what he's going to say, unlike us. So when he was on the show, his perspective is that we're kind of berating him because we talk a million miles an hour. He just hadn't completed thoughts, but we did not know this. But Good guy, but he's not a guy that's going to give you a whole bunch of sound bites, right? And then there's people that are straight up like, what's his face? Who would that? Weed dude. I can't think
Aaron
of
Lewis.
Aaron Lewis, right?
And he was Stained.
As a human being, he sucked, and we hated talking to him.
Which, we hoped his parents would have done instead of conceive him. Stained would have been better. I guess they named the band that. We got in trouble one time because Steve walked out of an interview with 3 Days Grace at Pain in the Grass. We didn't get in trouble then. We got in trouble like a week and a half later, too.
I did, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the guy was just being a jackass.
The guy was being an absolute jackass. And it's like, look, I got better things to do, too, man, because while I'm wasting my time talking to you, and clearly you don't want to talk to us, which I don't take personally, I could go watch bands. So at some point, it's just like, F this guy. So I got up and left. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I get to work that following Monday, and my boss thought it was a big deal. So he goes, "Man, did you walk out of a 3 Days Grace interview?" And I said, "Well, sort of, man." I said, the interview wasn't going anywhere, and I perceived that it was over, mostly when I said, "I'm done." But I got up and left. And he said, "Well, you can't do that." And I said, "Look, to be fair, the guy's an asshole. I'm sorry if that is that." But that's the quote. So, hey, man, that's what he is. So about, a year later, we find out 3 Days Grace is parted ways with the singer for no real reason other than he's the asshole I said he was. But the boss actually came down and apologized for that.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, man, it's been a year, but you were right. That guy sucks."
Nikki Sixx was fun to have on the air. He was a nice guy.
I don't remember talking to him.
Yeah, we interviewed him by phone.
I swear to God, I do not remember talking to Nikki
We
Sixx.
talked to Vince Neil by phone, who and I will now refer to always for the rest of my life as Vince Meal.
Vince Meal.
Until he proves me differently. He was just absolutely abysmal to talk to. Nikki Sixx we met in Vegas. When he was in 6 a.m.
He was cool there, man.
He was really good. DJ Ashba is a great guy, too. He was in that band also. One of the guitarists in the list of time where Axl was plowing through them after the original lineup of Guns N' Roses.
Met the guy from, Wolf Mother, right? Not everyone knows the band, but they're a pretty cool band. And that same place we met Nikki Sixx, we're checking out. He was on the elevators, all it was. And he has a real high-pitched voice. He has an Australian accent. They're like, "Hello." So I'm like, "Oh, hey, man, how are you?" Then, we start talking. I go, "Oh, S. Right, man. You're the cat from Wolf Mother." And he's like, "Yeah, I am." I'm like, "I like Wolf Mother." It's like, "Thank you." And then it was silence the rest of the elevator ride. It just got so weird and awkward.
I was peeing beside Jesse James Dupree of Jackal.
But what did he say to you?
I had a piece of pizza in my hand.
You're peeing with
in a
pizza.
beer. In a beer. Because I didn't want to set it down anywhere.
Vegas.
Like I was on my way back to the room, but the hallway was so long. And I knew I had to pee first. And I couldn't just hold the pee, but you can't just set a piece of pizza and your drink down outside of a bathroom at a casino in Vegas. I don't want to sit it down on a shelf. So I'm like, you know what? There is a cup holder here by the urinal.
Right.
I'll just eat my pizza. So I'm eating my pizza, and I look over and I'm like, hey, you look just like Jesse James Dupree from Jaguar. He's like, I am Jesse James Dupree from Jaguar. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I just kept eating my pizza. I was so effed up. And I guess we'll just wrap this up with one more story because we're trying to just wrap up some stuff here on this one. We talked about maybe snorting up a buddy of ours' pubic hairs. So basically, I don't want to give too much of the story away because I'm not exactly sure how this happened. But somehow, when we got to Chicago, there was cocaine. All right, I don't believe that Steve and I would have ever been irresponsible enough to bring that on the plane. I really don't know how that cocaine got there.
It may have. Actually, I'm thinking back. You got to understand.
I don't know.
There's a lot of holes in this. I think I know because I just thought about it when you said it. When we got to Chicago, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, so our hotel room is not ready, which is why we ended up at his buddy's place to end up snorting his pubic hair anyway. But it's 6 a.m., so we went to the restaurant of the hotel, sat down and got breakfast. And remember, the waitress basically just stopped working, sat down and hung out with us.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Right. So I suspect, looking back, we probably had to get it through her.
I think I remember the story better now. I think there was someone else. I don't know how this. I don't know how we got it. Anyway,
But we had cocaine.
We got it. All right, we got it. Somehow we got it.
6 o'clock in the
We
morning.
got it. All right.
Half a bag
So
of
then we
coke.
go over to my buddy's house, and he's been partying all night with his friend who he used to work with in Louisville. He came up and they were doing their thing before we got there. But when I go into the bathroom to do, because we didn't want to let them know exactly just how debaucherous we were getting.
Keep in mind, again, Miles called him, and I felt bad because I said at this point, dude, it's like 6:30 in the morning. And sure enough, his buddy picks up. He's like, man, I literally just went to bed. I've been partying. So it's like, we're cool.
Yeah,
we're
we're
in a
good.
place.
We're good. So we go over there. But he had just trimmed up either his chest or his face or whatever. And Marcus has just these tiny little black spirally pubic hair, man. They look like little springs that you put in the back of your pen when you click down on it.
Right.
I mean, that's basically what's all over the sink. I brushed some of them away, but then I dropped the baggie. So half of it goes like in the floor. Now I'm picking all the stuff up out of the carpet. And it's got pubes in it. It's got like carpet in it. I dump it all on the sink, man, and just look down and we start cutting the stuff up. And basically it's like, it's half of his pubic hair, half cocaine, half talcum powder, and half whatever it is on the floor. And we just start railing lines at that point in time in the morning, you know, and this is just, and I'm telling you, we snorted half of him up our nose, but we didn't care. And then, we trek down to, we're supposed to meet Castle. He's flying in later on. We're supposed to meet him at Millennial Park. Millennial Park's the main park downtown near all the touristy stuff where the, what the hell's it, the Bean and all that crap is. So we go down there and we literally fall asleep in the grass in the park. We pass out. And the next thing you know, we wake up and there's Castle. Like he was there with luggage. We were like, we're falling asleep in the park. And then he showed up. And so from then he woke us up. And still, you got to keep in mind, we can't check into our hotel room.
Right, it's still too early.
I mean, it's still 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. We don't know what time it is. And then right from there, man, it was on. We started drinking. That was the day that I dumped a beer in Mancow's lap, and we were screaming at him in a bar. It was just absolutely a show. The whole day was. I mean, it was crazy.
But it was a great time. I'd do it again.
We had a really fun time.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. And then we went to our other buddy's house. He was having a party. We probably threw down to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Old Ronnie.
Babe,
Yeah.
you got to swing by.
You got to swing by. Me and my daughters are here. We're getting all effed up. So we went over to his house. Sure enough, they're all smoking weed and drinking beer.
Yeah, I crashed there, walked back to the hotel the next morning, and the only reason I could find Miles, he's like, man, meet me at this bar. I'm like, all right. And that's the honest to God truth. The only reason I could figure out where he was, when you stepped into this bar, this place is packed. It is 100% packed. So I'm scanning the room, man. There's no sign of it. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, right? And then I realized when you look where the bar is, there's just a row of human heads sitting on a bar stool. There's one noticeable gap. And then you see the back of patrons' heads again. And I'm like, that's Miles, because I know he has to feel like I do, which means he's slumped over in his chair. And sure enough, I walked to the empty spot, and there's Miles, slumped over in his chair, staring at a hamburger that he's almost in tears because he doesn't want to eat it.
No, it's like 9 a.m. You know what I mean? It's 9 a.m. in an old school Chicago steakhouse. Everybody else is eating breakfast. I saw a hamburger go by. I'm going to get a hamburger. So, because it looks so good. So I get a hamburger. Like, I took one bite of this hamburger. It took 15 minutes for me to chew that one bite. I'm like,
Like, just eat the burger, man. I don't want to do it, man.
Like, it was so hard
I
to chew.
can't
Like,
do it.
my mouth couldn't melt. Like, oh, God. I'm going to die.
Dude, it was the aftermath of this particular trip may have been the saddest we've ever been.
And then we got on the subway or whatever they call that thing. Not the T. What do they call it?
I can't remember.
We got on that thing, and that's like a rickety old roller coaster. You know, I'm trying not to.
That's the sound it makes the entire way to there.
Trying not to throw up in there.
Like, oh my God!
And when you're that hungover, you don't want to deal with authority. You don't want to deal with TSA. I'm just like, it's like, do I look like someone who needs to be bothered right now? Like what? I don't have the energy to do anything. You know
I want to
mean?
dare people to touch my sweaty ass. Or do your pat down. Like, do you really want to do that? Do you really want to? I'm sweating, and it's only 65
I'm pretty
degrees
sure
in
that,
here.
and I'm pretty sure that that Hair Club will not go on any more trips with us, just based on the fact that,
Seriously.
that we just. He wouldn't sit beside us on the plane one time because he was so pissed off that we kept hitting the call button, order more drinks.
But we do it through his.
Steve slapped a flight attendant with a magazine when she gave him lip. This all really happened. So now he won't sit with us anymore. It's terrible.
She's running her mouth, so I swat her with the magazine.
Like, shut up, woman. I'm like, we're going to get kicked off this flight. God, I'm like. I would sneak back and start flirting with the flight attendants, and they would start pocketing me minis.
I know. Hair Club gets so mad at us.
Oh, my God.
Did you seriously just hit her with a magazine? Well, yeah, she's running her freaking mouth. She wouldn't shut up.
Every once in a while, I could tell I'd look where someone might find me slightly attractive, so I try to take advantage of it. I'm just back there like, hey, big mama, I need some rum. Oh, you want some rum? Yeah. Just give me 4 of them, and here's the card.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to. Oh, I don't need to ring that up. You just take these. Okay, thank you.
Somehow it works, man.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. We got to get on the air, believe it or not. We forgot to do it.
You've been listening to The Greatest Story Never Told with Miles and Thrill on radio.com.
Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.